Guys, this is the 20th episode of your favorite finance blog, The Monday Money Moves. Why don't you celebrate with us on all our social media platforms as we push out the behind the scenes, the funny part of the entire shooting of our videos, week in, week out. And for this celebration of this 20th episode of our Monday Money Moves, we will be giving out 20,000 naira on all our social media platforms. On the screen, you'll find all our 5 social media platforms and accounts. You can follow us, follow the quiz, follow the process to win 20,000 naira on each platform. You can follow all the 5 to stand a chance to win 20k each on all the platforms. But if it's just one you want to follow diligently, answer a few questions, and you might just be 20k richer by the end of the day. If you think having a good idea is all you need to achieve success in business, you are absolutely wrong. Welcome to Monday Money Moves. I'm Michael Abayomi, also known as Springbozz, and of course, I'm the Group Managing Director and CEO, Asset and Equity Group, a foremost and leading investment banking institution in the heart of Lagos Island and Victoria Island, Nigeria, and of course in other major cities of the world. This week, our spotlight will be on everything around starting a startup. The famous boxing legend Iron Mike Tyson once said, and I quote, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face." This is an evergreen description of what starting a business feels like. Personally, this is my 15th year as a finance professional. I've never seen a business plan that is projected to fail. I have never seen one. Every business plan is always an optimistic plan, okay? It's at best a moderately optimistic one. And this is why reality hits many entrepreneurs so hard that they can't continue when they get it. Research has shown that 4 out of every 5 startups never make it to the 3rd year before they collapse. This on its own is a pandemic that the global investing community is faced with year in, year out. Startups are majorly products of ideas and concepts, and the fact is ideas can be good, they can be bad, or they can even be simply irrelevant. Realistically and very honestly, any idea can be successful and virtually any idea can fail, depending on how you approach these things. For clarity, what I'm saying is that the very best ideas can also fail. Ideas are relatively cheaper than execution. That is, no matter how brilliant an idea is, the cost and process of bringing that idea to life will definitely be way more expensive than the idea itself. As an entrepreneur, don't get caught in the web of "I don't want anyone to steal my idea." So you keep it and keep it so well in the closet till it becomes completely irrelevant. The uniqueness of any idea is the execution. If it's your idea truly, no one can execute it better. Mind you, a startup does not necessarily mean a tech company. There are other businesses in other industries that fall under the category of a startup. So here are some of the very good ideas in the recent past that have failed for different reasons. Number 1, the Web TV. Web TV was developed in 1996, something around creating movies, content for people to see and pay to watch and all of that. But then, that was a brilliant idea, but it failed. 1 or 2 decades later, Netflix came and did exactly the same thing. And it's cashing out. Netflix today is almost everywhere in the world making cool money. So another one is the Webvan.com. Webvan was created to offer more or less dispatch and delivery services, okay? More or less like a structure of business where as you make orders for stuff, groceries and the rest of it, you can also select a van or the delivery type that you want and for things to get delivered to your house. This business failed in no time. And guess what? Jeff Bezos of Amazon, the same Amazon, started his own business, which is almost like that kind of business, and he became the richest man in the world. As a matter of fact, some of the staffs or some of the former staffs of Webvan.com actually joined Bezos in Amazon to even further improve his success. Number 3, AfroStream. AfroStream is a movie or say TV streaming service in Cameroon, okay? As a matter of fact, it was modeled after something like Hiroko TV, what the Hiroko TV of Nigeria does, you know, movie streaming and the likes. But guess what? Under 3 years, AfroStream went down. Another typical example, which has a bit of twist, is the Right and the Gokada situation. These two companies set out to, you know, offer ride-hailing, like tricycle ride-hailing service in Nigeria. Within months, they had become really big. They had expanded to many states and cities within Nigeria. But guess what? As thriving as it was at the time, the government was not having it. What happened? The government actually banned commercial tricycles across the nation, especially Lagos State. But then, this was supposed to be the end of Right and Gokada. But you know what? It wasn't. This guy immediately pivoted into dispatch and delivery services. With the same bikes that were banned for commercial transportation, they are now using them for transportation of goods and services. More or less like a dispatch or say delivery kind of services. So what I'm saying in essence here is that even if the business environment is tough, as an entrepreneur, you must be ready to pivot. Pivot is the art of changing your route without changing your destination. Okay? So you know that you are going this way, but the road is blocked. Then you make a turn and go another route that still leads you to revenue generation, to expansion, to growth in your business. So what am I saying in all of this? I'm saying that the marketplace is not a place for weaklings. Let's get this straight. So founders must know that the moment you leave your comfort zone to start a business, nobody, absolutely nobody will spoon feed you with patronage. Nobody will spoon feed you with revenue. Nobody, I repeat, nobody will spoon feed you with good business environment. You have to work it out. I'm a social boxer, by the way, and being a, you know, I train. And so I know that what makes you a great boxer is not how hard you can punch, but how much punches you can take and still stand. This is the life of an entrepreneur. So as an entrepreneur, if you will quit at the slightest policy provocation, don't start the journey. What do you need to start a company? You need just two things. You need to know two roads. That is the road that leads to failure and the road that leads to success. I will touch on about 5 or more fundamental factors required for business failure and success. And I'm going to try and integrate that into one. So number 1 is planning. As a business, you need to prepare short-term and long-term plan for that business. Actionable plans are very, 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 very important. You cannot overestimate the value of actionable planning. Every business must have a plan. The plan needs to show where the business is going on a week by week, month by month, hour by hour, year by year basis. And all this movement, all these progressions must be measurable. Number 2 is leadership. Effective leadership can cause a business to be successful, and ineffective leadership can cause or can lead a business into failure. Leadership needs the ability to make good decisions. As a matter of fact, the most important value of good leadership is the ability to make sound decisions. The kind of decisions that put the business in the right financial situation, and the kind of decisions that put all the employees in the right condition. And that goes on and on across the business value chain. Number 3, your product must be distinguishable in the market. Having a good product or service is not enough to make a business successful. There has to be something special about your own set of products or services. Ask yourself, what makes your product or service different from those competing with you? Acknowledge what the competition does better than you. Don't be proud to think your competitors are not better. When they are better, you need to admit. And then know that failing to differentiate your product or service from others is the same as failing to create a brand. That is, being different means having a brand. Number 4, listen and listen to your customers. A lot of businesses don't treat customers as if they are important. Ignoring the needs of your customers can cost you the entire business. And I tell you for a fact, losing the connection with your customer is a pure path to failure. Simple as that. Be aware of the trends and shifting values that customers place on things. If your customers don't like certain things, you don't have to do it. Your business is not supposed to be based on your own taste. It is supposed to be based on your customers' needs. What do they need? And number 5, learning from failures. It doesn't have to be from your own personal failures. It could be from other people's failures. Okay, it doesn't mean you will not learn from your own failure. If you have some level of failures, you have to learn from it and not make them repeat themselves, or not to repeat those failures. And if you have people, if you have other businesses who have gone through certain phase of failures, you can also learn from it so that you will not learn from your own errors. Another one is sufficient capital. I always say this, and it sounds funny, that the best way to attract investors into your business is by proving that your business can survive without them. That way, they want to be part of it. A business that cannot meet its short-term obligation, you might not really have a lot of capital and all that, we understand. But you must structure your business in such a way that you can meet your short-term obligations. And that makes the business extremely attractive to whether investors, to customers, to suppliers, to stakeholders, to employees, to everybody. At least have enough money to take care of your bills, your immediate bills. And so the fact is, lack of capital can put your day-to-day business activities at serious risk. Another one is accessibility and location of your business. Your business must be accessible and it must have a good location. In today's digital world, you necessarily do not have to locate your business in a place where people can, walk into the office. However, you can position your business online in such a way that people can see it and people can easily access it. If you have an Instagram account for your business, when they message you on that Instagram page, you should be able to respond to inquiries. But then, if your business requires physical visit, then it is mandatory for you to locate your business in a place where people can walk in, where you have traffic, where people can easily approach or access that business. Another very important point is how you grow your business. We all want to grow and expand our business. It is the dream of every entrepreneur. But at the same time, you cannot overstretch a business to the point where you cannot sustain it. Okay? Trying to grow a business too soon can destroy the business. A very good example of this is bringing in too many employees into the business when there are actually no work that they will do. You just want to portray the business big, and then you recruit, you hire without having what they will be doing when they get on board. Another important thing is when you start to do extensive advertisements regarding the business without, building the very substance of what makes that business that kind of business. The main reason why most startups go down also is that there is simply not enough need for their product in the market. And the fact is, when your market is still small, there is absolutely no need for you to expand your business. You have to grow. You cannot grow beyond the size of your market. When you know that what you are pushing out there is something that has to grow with the acceptance of the market. For example, in my previous video, I made a point that when e-commerce started in Nigeria, a lot of people were not comfortable with paying in advance before getting their products. Okay? So if you run an e-commerce business at that time and you are hell-bent on expanding, the business will fail because the acceptance of the market has not grown too much or too well to be able to accommodate the expansion. So guys, this will be the end of this week's episode of your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. Next will be top news. Welcome to top news session of your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. Our top news for this week we got from a story around Google. Says Google's pivot away from bank accounts shows why finance is a tough industry for tech giants. What does this mean? Even Google could fail at some point. So don't beat up yourself for failing at anything or failing at some things, okay? As long as you are not staying on the floor beating, you stand up and get things done. Google ventured into, retail financial services some years ago, I think about 2 years ago, and they rose with the intention that they were going to go head to head with major financial institutions like banks, even investment banks, trying to, forge their way through the competitive arena of financial services. But then, what did they come out with? They lost. Because knowledge is knowledge. There is no alternative to what you know. What you know is what you know. You know tech, you know tech. You know technology, you know finance, you know finance. If Goldman Sachs will create a platform like Google, like a search engine such as Google, and they think they can go head to head with Google in the search engine space, they will lose because it is not their area of core competence. The area of core competence is very vital to everything we all do. This is not to say that Google will win any challenge within the search engine space. Another company might come up with a blockchain expertise and beat off Google in that space within months or even years, okay? But then expertise, capabilities, and your core area of strength is a very vital economic and trade advantage to any kind of business. And that will be all for this week's top news session of your favorite finance blog, the Monday Money Moves. Next will be quote of the week. Welcome to the quote of the week session of your favorite finance blog. Our quote for this week is, in the world of entrepreneurship, discipline weighs more than passion. Why am I saying this? Discipline is what keeps every entrepreneur going. No matter how passionate you are about what you do, there are days you don't feel like going to work. There are days you don't feel like running the business anymore. There are days you just get tired. There are days you encounter issues. There are days real life eats you. And that is the fact. But discipline is that thing that keeps you going. I have to be at work. I have to do this. My customer needs this. I have to deliver this. I have to do this. My reputation is at stake. I need to manage it. My team needs this. We have to provide this. Things should get done. things must get done. Starting a business is a commitment or a promise that you have made to the entire customer community. So the day you feel unwilling to do that business, it is the discipline that reminds you of your commitment, that you must deliver so, and so. And that's why you keep going. Passion can kickstart you into venturing into business. But trust me, passion can burn out. When you are faced with real life issues, you are faced with reality of the market, passion will burn out. And that is a fact. But discipline is what will keep you going. So guys, remember, this is our 28th episode of your favorite finance blog, The Monday Money Moves. I told you we'll be giving out 20,000 naira on each of our social media accounts. Follow us on any of these social media platforms and stand a chance of winning 20,000 naira in commemoration or in celebration of our 28th episode of your favorite finance blog, The Monday Money Moves. And this will be the end of this week's episode of your favorite finance blog, The Monday Money Moves. Join us next week for another entertaining and informative episode. Thank you.